Hello, everyone, and welcome to Live with Sheryl. I am your host. My name is Sheryl Mebane. I am a researcher, writer, actor, drummer, singer, all kinds of things. And this show is where I explore all that and connect with you so we can talk about ways to inspire each other. And we also work in health because health is a foundation for doing anything. And we are going to start with a new feature of this season, season 3 of Live with Sheryl, which is Dance Excitement Everywhere. So, the intent of this little feature is to share some of my music because I am someone who is a drummer, composer, singer, songwriter, and I've been cranking away on lots of new things. I want to share them. But it's also to get everybody moving because, like I said, we do a lot of things related to health on the show in fun ways. And so, with no further ado, I've been cooking up some things, y'all, and I wanted to share them and boogie on to them. And so I'm going to do those dance excitement everywhere things that we do right now for you and hope you will enjoy it. All right. So, y'all, I stopped at some of the things that I will share on the show. I will tend to share the whole thing, and really, my intent is to give y'all a little taste, y'all. So, hope you enjoyed that. That was the backing of something that I was doing to one of my originals. May seem somewhat familiar, but with some twists here and there, perhaps in the mix. For those of y'all who were checking things out last year, because what I'm doing with some of my originals from last year is remixing them. I did that somewhat last year until we find a home and get a lot of people excited about it. We can keep remixing, y'all. And so I was doing that recently for that song and enjoying singing over it and putting little tidbits in there. And so I was just sharing that instrumental version with y'all and doing some boogieing earlier today. So hope y'all enjoyed it. I have been inspired to be working on lots of music this time of year, but also lots of other things. And I hope y'all are too. I hope you're finding things that inspire y'all. For me, if you've been following me on social media, you'll know I do Cheryl's Weekly Media Minute, and it's been covering some movies that people have been commenting on their YouTube series. I want to talk about that because there are a few series out there that I have been coming to over and over again. And these folks are just sharp about how they think about entertainment and think about themes that come up. And also, TV has been exciting for me. So, have y'all been checking out Elsbeth, the series? Sort of a new procedural, but they have a slightly different spin on it. And I really appreciated how the title character was being played. I talked a little bit about it. Let me know if y'all are watching it. I know there's lots of good series out there, almost like just a glut of really good things out there. But that's one thing that I ran across and I was excited about it because some of my own screenwriting and what I connect to a lot in other art too is a little bit unexpected. And some people will label it quirky, maybe. So I appreciated that that series had a title character that was still believable, I thought. But maybe y'all disagree, but have watched it. So that was the TV series that I was most recently getting really inspired by. And also with movies, I'm going to put the links here for folks afterwards if you're interested, but I have mentioned a few Black creators who look at long form media as what they provide as they're commenting often on other media. And one of them's name is Khadijah, and their last name starts with an M. And I'm going to put the link in there, but she is so sharp. She has several different series, and she has this progressive, often feminist, and just really intelligent way and fun way to take on different topics that are trending and provide different advice. Y'all, if you know her, if you have seen her work, you probably have a lot of different quotes to share with folks and would recommend her. One of the things that I think came from her recently, and I don't know where she sourced it, but it just comes up that she brings up these really great ideas, was if we're looking at different characters and how they process emotions, what we want from our characters and for ourselves is active emotions. So some things we get that could be negative, positive, whatever, but all negative emotions not necessarily bad for us if we take action in a good way to deal with them. And so anyway, she was putting out this idea that we need active emotions so we can get stuff done. So even if it's like sort of negative, at least we can get some things done. Y'all, I thought that was a good distinction, and maybe y'all have seen it elsewhere. Let me know. Let me see if I can look over at the chat, y'all. Oh, hey, CB, fun. Yeah, I'm glad you're saying it's fun. I was thinking maybe that fun comment is perhaps about the dance excitement everywhere, CB. Hey, CB, good to see you. Thanks for commenting and chatting it up. I am here running the board and looking at the chat. There may be a delay on my part in looking over at the chats. Sometimes y'all know the delay is considerable, and sometimes I get back to looking at the chat well after Live with Cheryl has finished, and I do apologize for that. Let me see if I can log in a few places and look and see if there's some chats. I was just seeing CB say fun. Thank you, CB. And thanks, y'all, for paying attention out there. I'm going to also check and see if there's some chats over here under Facebook. Let me just see. Okay, so now I've logged in over there. So if y'all want to comment over there with Facebook, then let me look there periodically. There will probably be a little delay, but I will still attempt to look. So thanks y'all for being here and sharing the time. So yeah, I was excited about Khadijah's series and that little gem. Y'all might have seen it elsewhere. The active emotions gem. I thought that was very helpful for myself. And then there were also a series of movies that I've had the privilege of watching and then seeing another series on YouTube intelligently dig into. Cinema therapy. I've probably mentioned it on this show already, but this pair includes a therapist and a filmmaker who says, well, he needs therapy. And I'm saying, well, who doesn't need therapy at different times? But they're friends and they do a really good job of digging into themes in movies. I think maybe not just movies, but I think largely movies, cinema therapy. And so I was appreciating their take on villains, and they're sort of doing psychoanalyses of villains and trying to figure out like, what are the things that we might see in what they're doing that we see in other people. So sometimes villains are very realistic, and we can get some perspective on some things that we've thought, that's untoward, but not quite sure how to say it if we have someone around to sort of steer us in our analysis. So cinema therapy, and then Khadijah's series, intelligent, fun, and there's a wide range of content. They've been both of those outlets have been producing YouTube content for a while. So y'all might be familiar with them. If so, let me know what I should be checking out from them. More recently, I was looking at something from Cinema Therapy, looking at Voldemort. They were doing a villain series, maybe villain therapy. Anyway, they were looking at villains and how the villains ticked. And so I saw Voldemort from the Harry Potter series, and that's what I was looking at for cinema therapy. And then really recently, like as of St. Patrick's Day, I think Khadijah was doing something on dating and looking at different, I think reality shows or maybe other things as well, and tackling different trends and for the better or for the worse with dating. So we're trying to look at it intelligently. It can be crazy out there. But so if y'all have not seen those series, those are some of the things I was interested in there. But let me know what y'all think, because I think these folks are really good at keeping things light and fun, but also giving us something intelligent to dig into when we're sort of thinking, now, how do I put that? I was thinking, what was I really trying to say? And then maybe they already said it for us. So that can be really great. All right, y'all. So I'm looking out for any chat comments, and I will keep doing so. And in the meantime, I'm going to move on to another feature of the show. I'm a busy bee, so I share updates as I create. So, as I mentioned, I'm a researcher and I have been moving back into a new project. I'm still at the literature review stage where I'm looking around to see how many things that are related to this project have already been done. What can I pull from? And so I can make sure I'm contributing to the literature and not wasting a little bit of my time. So, and also find some inspiration for exactly how I want to contribute. So that's what I've been doing lately in my research. And I don't want to talk about it too much because, again, I'm still doing the literature review, and then I'll be able to say a lot more about the real thrust of the research. I've also been really at this time of year concentrating a lot on music, and that's been a lot of fun for me. And I've been getting a lot of good inspiration from lots of different art for the music. I've also been continuing my voice acting, some good auditions recently, and happy to read a lot of copy out there. I learned some things from reading people's copy. Sometimes it's fun, and sometimes it's like, oh, yeah, I do need to make sure I exercise some more and do some more stress management, things like that. And then with writing, I've been mentioning with the screenwriting different supports that I've been leaning on lately. I've been pitching my own work, and I mentioned a social media pitch fest that was going on. I think last time we had live with Sheryl, but so more recently, I've been pitching my work through. I think Coverfly, which is free for people to post their scripts on there and try to connect with people in the industry. And they have an area called industry mandates, and you can look there for the industry folks who are needing things from people or who want to connect with writers who haven't already established themselves or ones who have. But this one recently that I responded to, I think it was for people who don't have managers yet. And I don't have a manager yet, and I'm interested in really taking my career to the next level. So I responded to that industry mandate. There are different things out there that I've been pitching and writing, but I've also been discussing writing and listening to people discuss writing really, really deeply and from the trenches. So there was a series I think Humanitas is running, and I think they have support for doing it further into the future, even than what's going to happen more like coming up really soon. And I saw this series maybe a month ago and found it really valuable. It's called Industry 101. They're trying to introduce people who are screenwriters to different aspects of the industry. If we're newer, if we're trying to pivot and we haven't been navigating things as screenwriters, this could be valuable. I found it really valuable. And so last night they had conversation about what happens when things are up and going with your work. So, say you have, I think the previous one was maybe about pitching your work. So, the previous Industry 101 series installment, I think, is available still to people who want to see it. And I didn't pay anything to see it, and it was really valuable. So, if y'all can get to it, try to get to it. But the one last night was about, okay, let's say that you pitched your work, you sold your work, and it's getting made. What will that feel like? What would it look like? What could your role be? What would it be like to be on set as a writer if you are able to do that in writers' rooms, dealing with the things that come up if you're show running. So, if you sold something and you are show running, even if you're show running in combination with other people, what would it feel like to do that? So, it was really helpful. I've had a chance to read about some of these things before, but certainly these jobs are tough and the industry is really, really competitive. And so, the more you can educate yourself about what to expect if you really get a chance to be in these spaces, then more likely the better you'll handle these spaces and the more opportunities you'll get. So that's what I found that makes me want to check out this kind of material over and over. So writing being discussed, writing being pitched, writing being done. Ha ha, good things are happening. And I hope y'all are finding inspiration for things that y'all are trying to create. I tell y'all, that's one of the things we want to do on Live with Cheryl is share things that inspire us and try to keep us healthy and motivated to do what we like to do, y'all. So I'm just checking for any extra comments in the chat, and I'm not. I think sometimes it's a little delay in refreshing things, so I will charge for it. Hey, everybody out there, glad you're listening. I just want to go ahead to the more explicitly health focused part of Live with Cheryl, and this is where we do a little health trivia, y'all. Okay. So, for those who are not familiar, we are really trying to keep things fun and light when we do these things. But there's a lot out there that can be, I don't know, discouraging, can at times be a little stressful. And sometimes we got to lean on each other, and there's all kinds of ways to do it. What are the best ways? So, say you got people who have your back and they want to help you out and help support you. Well, to achieve our goals, we're inspired, we know the things we want to do, but we need a little encouragement. How should we best go about it? What should we ask our folk to do for us who want to have our backs? So I was looking on a Psychology Today um, site, sort of an article online, and I will give you the link to it afterward. And they were just talking about how you and your partner, so this case, they're talking about partners, like romantic partners, but you can sort of pull some of this over to friends as well, close friends and partners that you have that may not be romantic. But the whole title of this is how you and your partner can help each other achieve goals. And so this article is summarizing a meta analysis where they're looking at a lot of different studies to try to pull some wisdom here. Because, if you call yourself a partner, you often really do want to help the person that you call yourself a partner with achieve their goals. But how do we do it? So they're looking across all these studies and they're saying in romantic relationships, there are a couple of different types of support that can be offered, emotional and practical, and they are essential for goal progress. And what I wanted to get into was a little bit more detail about some of not the method used to do the meta-analysis, because y'all can dig into that, but more some of the things that the findings that we can then put into action. Because I was thinking, sometimes it can be a little surprising uh, how many different ways you can think about what can help you and how you can help yourself get where you're going to go. So I wanted to share for the trivia with that background the following. If you must choose, offer blank support instead of instrumental support, because the former has the benefit of boosting self confidence, increasing a sense of self efficacy, and promoting feelings of competence. So, what do you think? If you have to choose, see, a lot of times we might not have to. And over the course of a relationship with somebody, you will provide maybe different types of support and they will provide different types of support to you. But if you must choose, would you offer negative support? And if so, would that tend to boost self confidence, increase a sense of self efficacy? Would you offer emotional support? Would that tend to boost self confidence and increase sense of efficacy? Or would you offer practical support? Okay, so then I'm gonna let y'all listen to a little bit more music and let me know what you think would be the answer. Okay, there may be more responses, but what I could see was a response from CB. Thank you, CB. And CB's response was, okay, listen, I don't really want to just have to choose the one thing, but I'm going to go ahead and say emotional slash practical. CB, I like what you did there. So emotional is what people were trying to point to, but you were, I think, by combining them saying, let's not be impractical with the emotional response. So the resource here, the Psychology Today resource and CB were suggesting that if you must choose, offer emotional support instead of instrumental support, because the former has the benefit of boosting self-confidence, increasing a sense of self-efficacy, and promoting feelings of competence. I think the slash practical CB, I'm going to assume that I understand that that is emotional practical, like please do make it be tied to what someone is trying to do, practical kind of support, or maybe you're thinking practical like instrumental and you're saying I insist we don't choose and that we go ahead and live in the real world where a lot of times if you give yourself time in a relationship you can get to a couple different types of support. I'm not sure what you say, but you got emotional in there, and so that's right. And maybe some other folks have also responded that I just couldn't see on the chat. If you are uh, subscriber to my YouTube channel, then I can see those comments, and I definitely, that's where CB's came through. But also for Facebook, I'm checking there. But thank you, CB. And y'all, I just want y'all to check out that Psychology Today reference only because it's mentioning a few things about, especially like the negative support. I know sometimes people think, well, I like a tough love kind of situation. And if it works for you, it works for you. But they have some things to say about the impacts, what that can do for folks. And I mean, again, uh, how very negative it might be would color what would be your feeling of that negative support. But certainly people are suggesting, I think we all probably sort of lean toward and know, emotional support that help build self-efficacy should be maybe in the mix there if we're trying to help each other or receive help, but also practical support. I think a lot of times I think people deal in like practical support. Let me show up for you. Let me loan you some drumsticks. Let me do these kinds of things. And so I think that the interesting part that I was watching was that emotional support can build self-efficacy. And so that practical support, sometimes we really, really need it, but the emotional support can help us sort of feel like, okay, well, even if you can't loan me such and such, I know you're making me feel confident and I can go out there and figure out what I got to do. And so I can find that practical support other places, maybe sometimes. Anyway, y'all let me know what you think of that resource. If you think I've interpreted it incorrectly, I just found something that sort of resonated for me and ran with it. But thank you, CB. So on Live with Cheryl, y'all, we don't just take y'all's as wisdom in, we try to give you a little reward. So, CB, let me know if you want to hear a little bit more of what I was playing there and doing the dance assignment everywhere too, or if you want to hear some more of our theme song, little bop to the Live with Cheryl theme song as we wrap up. And in the meantime, while you let me know, CB, I want to thank everybody out there for watching Live with Cheryl and participating in season 3 and previous seasons, y'all. Couldn't do it without you. That's some practical support and it feels good. It's emotional support as well. So I think it's a little slash there, like CB was talking about. If you want to provide further support, you can go ahead and support me on Patreon. Thank y'all out there who already done that. Thank you, thank you. And thanks to family and friends in general for the emotional and practical support. Y'all don't really give a lot of negative support, and I really appreciate that. I'm the type of person who please try to keep it positive. I will try to, analyze things and dig out the negative things I need to, but y'all, the positive is very, very, very helpful for me, and y'all have been giving it, so thank you. Now, the next live with Cheryl is going to be in 2 weeks, the first Thursday in April, April 4th at 8 p.m. Eastern. And before that, I would love to hear more from y'all. Oh, theme music. Okay, CB, thank you. I see that you said, let's get that theme music in there. Awesome. So as we wrap up, we're going to listen to the theme music at the end and sort of pull it all together in a nice little package here for you. But yeah, we're going to also reopen that package in a couple weeks, April 4th, 8 p.m. Eastern. And the very best way to check it out is on YouTube. You can go to youtube.com/. SHD drum, and that is the way that I can really let y'all see what I'm doing, but also you can, if you subscribe there, be able to send your comments through and I can see them here. So I can see what y'all doing too if you connect over there and become a subscriber over there. So we're gonna say thanks to everybody. Hey out there, and I apologize if I can't see your comments just yet. I will be undeterred, and I will check it again later and see what you said, and I will get back to you then. In the meantime, y'all, thank you for listening, and thank you for helping to support each other in all kinds of ways. And enjoy this last little theme song offering, and hopefully, I will connect with y'all soon. And see y'all on the next live with Cheryl in a couple of weeks. And though for just want to mention too, if you do become a supporter of mine on Patreon, I do monthly have a chat for every supporter level, but also at the top 2 tiers, I have monthly different things that are exclusive for those patrons. And next Thursday, it's going to be another little surprise. So I'll let the patrons know. I won't even get into it because we're sort of running out of time, but it's going to be a little show, y'all. And as usual, I will pull snippets of that over here. But if y'all want to see the full show, last time I think we did an improv show, and then it was a reaction video that got to be seen fully by the patrons. So this is going to be another show altogether, y'all, next Thursday for the patrons. So if y'all want to catch that and be the first to peek at it and see the whole thing, then go ahead and support me over on Patreon. patreon.com/Sheryl Mebane. So you can see what's been offered there, but you can also go ahead and support. And if you want to see full access given to you for those kinds of monthly shows, then you need to support at either the top tier or the middle tier. It's all explained there on Patreon. I won't get into that too much more. Okay, y'all, thanks all around. And let's go ahead and wrap it up with a little Live with Sheryl theme song. Bye, y'all.